What's up, everyone? Welcome to the 405th episode. That's right, 405.
Why is this so hard for you?
Look, I got the last three right. I think
406.
406.
That's Kramer. That's not Kramer. Chatot's number in the Pokedex.
I don't think that's
406.
true. Welcome to the Pokemon Podcast. It's super effective. I'm your host, SBJ. With me, Will.
May I offer two pieces of life advice?
Yes.
Just say yes. Okay.
No.
Number one, if you accidentally give your cat an overdose of insulin, expect to pay $2,300. Just set that money aside, because that's what it's gonna cost. Number two, and I gave this advice on a different podcast, but I felt it was important enough that I need to share it with more people. If you find the taste of bubbly sparkling water absolutely distasteful and horrible, the way to fix that is much like the English fix tea. Just put a teaspoon of sugar in it and mix it around, and it's delicious.
Who doesn't
There you
like
go.
bubbly?
Me.
Ugh, me.
It's so good.
Just put a teaspoon of sugar in there. Stir it in. Real good.
Carbonation in my water.
Oh, you are the weird No carbonation in my water. I don't like to be fancy.
Do you realize Dr. Pepper is just carbonated water?
What? Yeah. Yeah, but there's no sugar in bubbly. If I'm drinking sugar water, I want it to be carbonated. If I'm drinking water, I want it to be.
What I'm saying
I want it
is
to be
put
pure.
a teaspoon of sugar in your
Steve
bubbly.
Shirumi, a notable hummingbird, will only drink sugar water.
Possibly a butterfly.
Or well, no, he's not cute enough.
Jeez, Greg here.
Wow, the hate.
Hello, friends. I have no life advice. I barely know what day it is, so come back to me when I'm on a regular schedule. I'll catch you then.
We have a show for you guys. There's some breaking news. So far, everything on Pokemon Center is free shipping. So,
Wow.
I wish you had just stopped at free.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
we got a show for you guys. We got some Nintendo hacking news. We got some false advertising. We got some other stuff.
There's more false advertising?
Oh, we got some
Oh,
false
dear.
advertising.
Wow.
Let's start with the easy stuff. Since we just talked about Pokemon Center, the new Funko from Pokemon Center is out this month. It is Sylveon from the Eevee and Friends collection. This is off Pokemon.com. An adorable is a good description for this new figure with its big blue eyes and its wide grin, complete with tiny fangs. Sylveon is looking as cute as ever. The flowery field the Pokemon is transpiring through serves as an ideal setting too. This charming figure will make a great addition to your collection on its own or displayed alongside your other Afternoon with Eevee figures. It's not sold out yet.
This
I lied.
one
It is sold
almost
out.
tempted me to buy. This
Oh,
one almost
dang.
tempted me to buy it. It is very cute. But
The other day it was not sold out, but as of this recording, it is sold out. Eevee fans rejoice.
Well, why are they rejoicing? It's sold out. They can't get it.
Oh yeah, Eevee fans be upset.
Cry. Is Glaceon still available?
Man, that Sylveon's real cute. It's got tiny little fangs.
Yeah,
and a
it's
little
super
heart
cute.
bow.
No, they didn't do Glaceon yet.
Unavailable.
Last month was Vaporeon, which is also unavailable.
Vaporman.
And then the first
The
month
ugliest
was
of the Eevees.
What? We didn't say Flareon.
Would you stop?
As always, we will continue to be on Jolteon watch here. We will let you know when Jolteon goes up.
Okay, so what's the other Flareon?
What?
I mean, Sylveon. There's another Sylveon figure. Fairy Wind Sylveon. What is this? Is this not Funko?
No, this is Funko. Oh, you're talking
You're
about
looking at
the
the wrong
the other
thing.
one.
Oh, are you talking about the what do they call that? The DX figures?
I don't know.
I think they're the DX figures. I think Sylveon got a DX figure. Lucario just got one. It is their gallery figures. DX meaning they're large. Ironically, the Lucario DX figure came out the same week that Ash caught a Riolu in the Japanese anime. Odd how that
What?
worked.
How did that sync up like that?
It was also, oddly enough, the same week where Riolu was promoted in raids. Oh, it was also the same week where Shiny Riolu was promoted in Pokemon Go.
Wow.
Wow, these coincidences are wild. How does that happen?
It was, I was telling Twitch chat how if you don't pay attention to like every aspect of what the Pokemon Company does, the word I used was synergy. They have pretty good synergy with all their products.
Synergies.
Synergy is the buzzword of the day. The new Twilight Wings episode is out, episode 4, which is the episode with Nessa. That will be a Patreon-only episode for me and Irene and our thoughts on that. That should be coming in the next week or so. The more important anime news here.
Yeah.
We'll actually have to come back to the Nessa stuff in a bit, but the more important anime news, this is off Pokemon.com. Pokemon Journeys, the series, coming June 12th, 2020 to Netflix. Ash and Pikachu's animated adventures continue in the 23rd season of the long-running animated series. Fans who are looking forward to seeing their adventures of Ash Ketchum and Pikachu will not have to wait long, as the 23rd season of the iconic Pokemon animated series will launch as Netflix original in the US June 12th, 2020. In Pokemon Journeys, the series, which is different than... They finally fixed the title. I think it was called, like, Pokemon the Series.
Journey?
Yeah, it was like... No, it was... This is a slightly better name. The series came before Journey before. Anyways. Ash has left the Alola region behind with a new plan to see the world. Ash will travel with his new friend Go, spelled G-O-H. Another boy with boundless curiosity about Pokemon, with Ash as determined as ever to become a Pokemon master and Go aiming to catch one of every Pokemon, including the mythical Mew. Our heroes are in for an adventure and excitement as they explore the wide world of Pokemon. Pokemon Journeys, the series, will also feature a new theme song written and performed by the band Walk Off the Earth. Fans can see a new trailer of the upcoming series on the official Pokemon YouTube channel. The first 12 episodes will be available to watch on Netflix when the series premieres June 12th. Another 12 episodes will be added every 3 months for the duration of the season. This is a weird way of doing this. Remember to mark your calendar for the debut of Pokemon Journey, the series, on June 12th.
I have a question.
I have many questions, but Greg, you can go first because you only have one.
Are we supposed to know who Walk Off the Earth is?
It's a very popular J-pop band.
What was it?
Walk Off the Earth.
It was We Are Giants or something. I remember they
have a hit?
I remember they did a Pokemon song with We Are Giants or whatever that band name is, and they made a big deal about it. I want to say that was during Black and White. I don't know. They like to mention I have no clue who Walk the Earth is. I thought you guys were gonna know. I thought this was maybe
Walk Off the Earth is a Canadian indie pop band from Burlington, Ontario. The group is known for its music videos of covers and originals. The band is well known for covering pop genre music on YouTube, making use of instruments such as the ukulele and the theremin, as well as looping samples.
The picture they included of all of them playing one guitar has me so exhausted that I can't continue.
And I think you were thinking of the presidents of the United States of America, not They Might Be Giants.
Yeah, Presidents of the United States of America, an actual band people have actually heard of.
I think you are right. I feel like they only mention... This is a tin hat theory. I feel like they only mentioned the band to make that one dude who did the original Pokemon theme song stew in his hatred.
What is his name?
I can't. He was
so wild at that PokeCon. He was so crabby.
Greg and I met him, and you could just tell he was still jaded about what happened 20 years ago.
What was his name?
For those that don't know, Jason something. For those of you that don't know, I'll give you the too long didn't read. When the Pokemon Company hired Jason whatever to do
Jason Page
to do whatever the first theme song is called, I don't know, To Be a Master or whatever.
Gotta catch them all.
Yeah, whatever it is. They paid him once, and that was it. That was part of his contract / deal. So because Pokemon blew up and became this huge sensation, he doesn't get any royalties from when they use that song. He gets nothing. And you can tell that he, I don't know, maybe he's not. Maybe he just had a bad day.
No, he was having a bad weekend at that point.
But he seemed very jaded about not, about life, I guess.
Yeah. All right, Will, your many questions about this announcement.
Okay, so just number one, Pokemon Hour in Japan, right? They have like a dedicated time slot where they show the Pokemon cartoon on Japanese television, correct?
Anime, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I do not use that word because I am speaking English.
Okay, well, you do understand that nobody's told Japan about streaming.
That's true.
Does
Japan even have Netflix?
There's no Netflix in Japan. Okay. That helps, even though Leo Laporte every week talks about VPNing into Japan so he can use Japanese Netflix, but okay, whatever.
Yeah, but that's dark web stuff. Regular Japan doesn't know about dark web Netflix hacking from Leo Laporte.
that dark web pirate,
Yeah.
yes.
Known and noted dark web pirate Leo Laporte.
So we don't know if they're just because it used to be like they would get the episodes in Japan and then like a month later we got them here.
Yeah. No, that's how it worked.
So they've already done 12 episodes in Japan and then we're just going to get all 12 dubbed.
They've done more than 12.
They've done more
haven't
than
they?
12. We have news regarding there's a delay on the episodes now.
Well, so I know for like the Cardfight Vanguard anime that there is a delay in those episodes coming out because of all the ability to record voice actors, etc., etc., etc. Well, I mean, that was the primary source of all of my confusion and everything there. But what happened? I thought they were like hand in hand with Disney now.
Yeah, well, Disney's closing ranks and wants to own what they show. So they are starting to get away from the regular Disney XD and stuff and switch just to Disney Plus, which only have rights for what they own. So I doubt Pokemon was like, yeah, we'll sign everything over to Disney.
So, but they used to have agreements with WB and Cartoon Network, didn't they?
And they're gone.
Can't.
It always was weird to me that Pokemon was on like WB in the morning, or it was on what? It was on
afternoons.
In the afternoons. That's like prime time spot, right? If you're a cartoon, being on at like 4 p.m. in the afternoon, prime time, because there's nothing on TV. You just get off school, you sit down, you watch it.
Let me think. Hold on. It's 3 o'clock is Thundercats. 3:30 is He-Man. 4 o'clock is G.I. Joe. 4:30 is
Silverhawks.
No, there's no Silverhawks in my house. It's Transformers. Thank you very much. Silverhawks came on at 5 o'clock when parents come home and make you turn off the TV.
Right.
So that's where that garbage
God, your
belongs.
parents came home at 5?
My parents never came home.
But that was always, the prime time spot is to be on non-cable TV where ad revenue is at its highest, because everyone has that. Once you add like a $70 a month subscription to channels and there's more competition, commercial value goes down.
Right.
So then eventually the Pokemon Company, sometimes they're a very cheap company. Maybe this is why they have so much money, because they cheap out on stuff. They got away from 4Kids. They went with a cheaper production studio. This is why the Hoenn and the Diamond and Pearl anime just look like hot garbage. I'm sure somebody's very fond of those animes, and they were the special anime for them because they were 10 years old when those animes came out. But animation-wise, they're bad. I'm sure the stories are fine. I haven't seen a lot of that anime specifically. And then the big deal is when the Pokemon Company decided to go all in on Gen 5. And that was like the huge deal with Unova, that they signed to Cartoon Network, and they're going to be on like the most popular cartoon channel on cable. And in retrospect, as much as like Gen 5 was pretty vocally, there was a lot of hate during Gen 5, and there was a lot of
vocally loved by millions and millions of people.
I mean, Gen 5 sold well.
It's a good time.
But Gen 5 took so many like risks, not only in game, but the trading cards and the anime and like merchant. Like there's so much Gen 5 merch compared to like Gen 4, and I would even argue Gen 6. Like they took so many chances with Gen 5. And then it was a huge deal They were on Cartoon Network for 2 whole generations, right? Because X and Y was also on Cartoon Network. And then there was a huge deal that they signed to Disney, which you could maybe argue that the Disney Channel is bigger, if not better than Cartoon Network, or became that over the years.
Maybe Disney bought enough stuff to make themselves bigger, sure.
It was always weird to me that they were like on Disney, but you could just go to Pokemon.com and watch I think you could still watch everything from Sun and Moon.
Yep.
I don't think they maybe had a good relationship with Disney. Otherwise, or maybe Disney didn't like that they did that. I mean, they're clearly not big enough to just say, watch Pokemon TV.
Right. I mean, they don't have their own way of streaming. Like, that's just not going to be a thing. And it's not going to get enough eyes. But
they do have their own way of streaming. It's called Pokemon TV. It's an app. I put it on my iPhone.
Like, they don't have the storage to keep 50,000.
I don't know if they have the bandwidth to have. I don't know. I don't know what the.
But I mean, we have to we're ignoring the fact that Disney wants to own everything they show. Just that's what they're doing. To be like, oh, they didn't have a good relationship. Well, yeah, they wanted to own everything.
But wait, who was opening the Nintendo theme park?
Is that with Disney or was that with Universal?
Universal. Who? I don't know. I'm asking. I don't know.
Universal.
Oh,
Universal Studios Japan. USJ.
Cracks in the relationship begin to show. Super Nintendo World.
Yeah, I guess maybe their relationship with Disney went sour, like Greg said.
I mean, Disney clearly wants to own everything.
Is it that the relationship changed because Disney Plus launched?
Yeah. I mean, when Disney Plus launched their own service, and they moved away from focusing on the cable networks, I don't think anything new is coming to XD that's not automatically going on Disney Plus. And so I think, whereas TV contracts are weird, so sending it through the airwaves with ad revenue versus putting it on a paid subscription with no ads, and streaming rights are already just a bonkers new foreground. So I'm sure Pokemon Company was fine. We give you rights to air it on TV, but you don't have full rights to keep it on a streaming service.
Yeah, this is the part I don't understand. Ideally, the anime is their 23-minute a week commercial to buy plushes and to buy trading cards and to get you hyped for the new games, but they didn't even didn't want to fight for primetime TV, because if you look at something like WWE, they made a huge deal of we're off cable and we're going back to Fox. There's still a huge deal, or maybe they made a huge deal and it's not a huge deal, but I think it's still a huge deal to be we are off cable, we are now on free TV where we get better ad money, and that is where we want to be, as opposed to Netflix gave us a bunch of money to be on Netflix, but we're not getting ad money. And now we have another barrier of entry, which is you got paid $11.99, I think, for Netflix.
I pay much more than that.
It depends on the plan, but yeah, there's money there.
I got to keep paying for that Totoro DVD.
Yeah, you do.
Oh my
Just watch it.
Don't watch it. Just return it.
I do neither.
So network television isn't doing great. It's hard to do network television because nobody wants cable the way it is, unless they can get on one of the big networks that you can get with an antenna, which I don't know that there are any left that would run a lot of kids programming. They have to go somewhere. People will tune into WWE, that's a known quantity, and a full broadcast station's sure, we'll take it and we'll put up ads, and you can get that channel with an antenna without having to pay for cable. But it's the cable part, you have to have cable.
Yeah.
And that's expensive, whereas there's a ton of people who aren't doing that anymore. That is just way too much money for nothing. Like, you're getting a bunch of stuff you don't watch.
Well, I think it's
very true.
I think it's proven that like a show will get somebody to sign up. Like, I signed up for Netflix. I paid the money. I paid the $12.99 because I wanted to watch that new Me Too movie. And then, of course, I'm assuming that there's probably studies of like somebody signs up for your subscription for one thing and then they forget. And then then now they're month 2, and then they're like, oh, well, I guess I'll watch it. And then
this is the secret of subscriptions that was discovered in like 1875.
Sure, but like the only reason I signed up for Disney Plus was because of The Simpsons, because I want to watch that on repeat. So I'm sure there are parents that are like, I want my kids to watch Pokemon. Now I have an easy way for them to watch Pokemon. Although this is only one season and 12 episodes to start with.
Yeah, but
Don't
Netflix
you have
is
every Simpsons episode on DVD already?
Yeah, I do, but
I mean, Netflix is really trying to do a big push to take over or compete with Disney on the child television front.
yeah.
Like, they're doing a lot, and they're putting out a lot of their own programming plus a lot more. So they are really trying to be the Disney alternative or secondary or whatever. Like, I have them both because I want to watch all the Star Wars stuff on Disney. But like, Pokemon's a big kids programming thing. It's like, it's also for Netflix to say, hey, we have Pokemon, so why don't you also consider bringing your child's entertainment over here?
Yeah.
Like, it's a good cornerstone to have. And how crazy controlling Disney is, I'm sure it was easy to take away from them.
I listen to a lot of tech podcasts, and they talk a lot about Netflix, Disney Plus, what's that, Quibi, whatever that new one is.
Quibi.
HBO Max.
Peacock hasn't launched yet, but it will be launching soon. This is off BGR. Netflix is going to spend more than $17 billion on original content in 2020, with Disney Plus and Apple TV Plus, another TV service that exists. Both having made their debuts, and Peacock, HBO Max, and others slated to launch in the coming months. This was in January, by the way, so some of those did launch. You might be wondering if Netflix will stay on top much longer. That's hard to imagine anyone stealing Netflix's crown, as the company spends $17.3 billion on original content. BMO says the majority of Netflix 2020 budget will be allocated to original programming. So I want to go back to the Pokemon.com article, which says that Pokemon, the series Journey, will be an original program to Netflix. So this is part of their $17.3 billion budget. BMO says that the majority of Netflix budget will be allocated towards original programming, such as the animated originals that it will produce alongside Nickelodeon, and the multi-year deal that it made with Game of Thrones showrunner David Benioff and Dan Weiss, and the deals that it made with South Korean content makers, which BMO believes is a stepping stone to scaling in one of Asia's wealthiest and largest addressable markets. As for comparison to other streaming services, none come close to matching Netflix budget. A Variety notes that Disney only plans on spending $1 billion on original content for Disney Plus in 2020, while another $1 billion will be spent on operating expenses. Meanwhile, AT&T has earmarked around $2 billion for HBO Max, and NBC Universal claims that they set aside the same amount for the first 2 years of Peacock. Combine all three of those budgets, and you're still not anywhere close to Netflix's $17.3 billion that they will spend this year.
My response to that is, number one, I sincerely hope that we are going to get South Korean soap operas because those are the greatest things ever of all time. If I could get Be Strong Gunsoon in English, I would be thrilled beyond belief. Number two, Disney doesn't have to spend $17 billion because they literally have 100 years of content that they could just throw up onto their service, and it's...
Well, and
they already got it.
The market share that they're fighting for is very small. Like, the majority of consumers don't want to pay more than $20 a month for all of their streaming services. And that's not a lot. Like, Netflix
That's
comes
the sweet
in,
spot. You're right.
Netflix comes in at like $13. There's not a lot left after that for what people are willing to pay for. Every one of these is fighting to knock somebody out of that $20 bucket.
But you need new content to keep people subscribed.
You do.
At a certain point, there's only so many times. Well, I mean, unless you have like a 6-year-old in the house and they want to watch Toy Story every day, do you pay? How much is Disney Plus? $11.99, $6.99? I don't even know.
$6.99.
Do you pay $6.99 a month for a year? So that's like what, like $72? Do you pay $72 a year for your kid to watch Toy Story 4, or do you just go to Target and you buy Toy Story 4 for $15 and then you just have it on like there's only so much that.
And play it on what?
And play it on your PS4 or your Xbox One.
I mean, that's not a lot of people.
What? No, the reason that they still make DVDs is because of like minivans and road trips and everything. Like,
yeah, but you're not in your car all day, dude.
I mean, what we're talking about is, in particular, Disney launched their entire 100-year catalog. Like, they are.
Did they do the entire catalog?
They did. Well, they kept we know they kept a few sketchy things hidden, but for a lot of this generation who's streaming, most of that content from the 60s and 70s and 80s is brand new. When they launched with their huge library, it felt like you were getting hundreds and hundreds of hours of new content because you've never seen it before. Is it good content? Well, that's up to you.
I saw The Fox and the Hound in the theater. I enjoyed that.
But Disney doesn't have to ramp up more than they already are, because every movie that they're producing automatically comes to their service. Every spin-off TV series that they make off of every superhero movie, and they make one every year, immediately comes to their service. Disney doesn't have to spend as much money because Disney already owns so many properties. They're sort of neglecting the fact that Netflix doesn't own anything and didn't come to the foreground producing anything.
Well, they own like House of Cards, and they own like
they own a very small amount of things that they've only started started making recently. So Netflix has to spend that much money to compete with things like HBO that's been running since the 80s, Disney that's been running since the 20s, to even come close to having that breadth of library that they call their own. Will it be new? Is some of that stuff that Netflix going to make good? Sure. Is some of it going to be real bad? You bet.
Like, I've watched a couple of their teen rom-coms that are pretty awful.
Like, they're spending the money because they have to. And it's sort of like this wild thing, like, look at how much money they're going to spend. They're the ones to watch. It's more, look at how much money they have to spend to try to stay competitive. Netflix
just to keep up.
Netflix isn't a good spot when everybody decided to pull everything out into their own service. Like, they relied on every other company to give them things for people to watch. And when everybody said, or we could just make our own money, Netflix is scrambling and has been scrambling for years.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, but they're still number one.
What? How do you count number one?
How do you count? You count how many people are paying you. Okay, they have 160 million subscribers.
That's the long tail of people who forgot to cancel their subscriptions once they signed up for Disney Plus.
I don't think so. I mean, they're still producing content that people are talking about. Yeah. I mean, House of Cards before all the drama was very, very talked about. Stranger Things is
the way
still
you have
very
to
popular.
think about it is any time that Netflix wants to do something, it's a risk. It's like, we're going to produce this thing, and we hope people like it. But since it's never been seen before, it's people might not like it. It's just absolutely a risk. And then Disney's like, well, you know what? We're just going to put the entire catalog of Hannah Montana out there, and everybody's like, heck yeah!
Well, also,
Netflix are you paying $6.99 a month to watch reruns of Hannah Montana?
I mean, I have.
Not me, but like somebody who's like 20 years younger than me, 25 years younger than me, sure. That's their childhood they want back. I used to watch freaking Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
Daily.
But Netflix is also the most expensive. If anybody else can offer as much for cheaper, people are going to jump. And they have. Like, they know that Disney Plus is a threat. They know this. they lost a lot to Disney. They know that NBC is a threat. They lost Friends, and as awful as that show is now, people were very upset. Well, they pulled it into their own house. Netflix is scrambling to be the most expensive service out there while losing the stuff people wanted to watch.
Yeah, there's no doubt that they're losing stuff. So Netflix has a couple advantages. They're still the biggest service. They have 167 million people. They are worldwide, which other services are not. Their content includes Netflix originals, which will be the new Pokemon anime, Studio Ghibli, except if you're in Canada, US, and Japan, you can't watch Studio Ghibli, and then they have exclusive anime shows. Amazon is number 2. They have 100 million subscribers. That's tied in with...
Oh, that's bogus. That is bogus. I pay Amazon Prime because I forget to cancel it every year. I am not a subscriber.
They do have 100 million people signed up. Well, 100 million people signed up for Amazon Prime. They are worldwide as well. They have Amazon Studios. They're producing their own TV shows like Netflix. They have the Discovery Channel, and they have ITV. I don't know what ITV is. So Hulu has 30 million subscribers compared to Netflix's 167 million. They have NBC, ABC, Fox, A&E, Big Ten, Bravo, E, PBS, Oxygen, more Fox stuff, Sci-Fi, USA, and they're only available. So Hulu's only available in US and Japan. And then Disney Plus has 50 million subscribers, which is Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, Pixar, National Geographic, and 20th Century Studios, which I believe is Simpsons.
Disney owns the majority share in Hulu.
Right.
Because everybody else pulled out. So, like, Disney owns Hulu and Disney Plus.
And so Disney has the disadvantage, and Hulu has the disadvantage of not being worldwide. So they're only available in United States, Canada, Netherlands, Australia, New Zealand, Austria, Germany, Ireland, Italy, Spain, Switzerland, and the United Kingdom. So that's not a lot of countries. They have something called Disney Plus Hotstar, which has 300 million people, which is Star India, HBO, Showtime. That's specifically available in India and Southeast Asia. They have ESPN Plus, which has 3.5 million users, which has UFC. That's only available in the United States. And then you have CBS All Access, which has 10 million users. That's CBS and Paramount, not worldwide. HBO Now has 8 million users, which is HBO stuff, Universal Pictures, Warner Brothers, 20th Century. That's only available in the United States. HBO Max hasn't launched yet. Peacock hasn't launched yet, but that's NBC, Universal, DreamWorks Animation, Telemundo. I know all our Spanish listeners. Telemundo coming to Peacock. That'll save that channel.
Look, I was subscribed so that I can watch Sábado Gigante, so don't even scoff at that.
YouTube Premium, that's a thing. They got 20 million users, also worldwide.
They do?
They have YouTube Originals, apparently. I don't know what any of those are. Apple TV Plus has 10 million users. They have, that just quotes original content.
Once again, just because I bought an Apple product does not make me a subscriber.
Crunchyroll has 2 million users. When is Crunchyroll getting bought by either Disney Plus or Hulu or Netflix? Like, I feel like that's coming.
It is owned by somebody that I am intimately familiar with.
Well, that's also that's such a fit because I will watch Crunchyroll. Without paying for it. I mean, I do that horrible ads.
If Crunchyroll does anime and manga and whatnot, why wouldn't they just put Pokemon on Crunchyroll? But I don't think Crunchyroll could pay what the Pokemon company would probably want in rights to their show.
I think you're right.
Besides Netflix being number one, Disney is what the Pokemon company walked away from. I don't know. How are you on Disney for 3 seasons and then you're like, all right, we're done, we're out? Like, it was either money or they're just unhappy with Disney, or Disney lowballed them on content. I mean, I've heard that from people where Disney thinks that because they are Disney, they can lowball people.
They lowball everybody. They do. Since this is public knowledge, because I looked it up, Crunchyroll is owned by AT&T and Warner Media.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So there's a reason Crunchyroll is owned by Warner Media, who's owned by AT&T. So the reason why they don't have those things, and there's a lot of sort of behind-the-scenes stuff happening with Crunchyroll and VRV, is because HBO Max and AT&T Now are things, and there's a lot of questions about what's happening with Crunchyroll as part of all of that. But AT&T and Warner Media own Crunchyroll. Just an FYI.
So this is off the LA Times. This was September 16th, 2019. So Netflix paid $500 million for The Office, and Warner Media paid $425 million for Friends. Netflix did make a huge deal about getting Seinfeld, although I don't see the prices here. But then Hulu paid for the exclusive rights for Seinfeld, which was $130 million for a 6-year deal, which expires next year. So I guess that's either going to get re-signed.
Wasn't that an NBC product, though?
Seinfeld?
Yeah, definitely.
So there's no way Peacock's not going to take that back.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, the whole thing about Peacock is they were going to be the exclusive streaming service of the Olympics. And then the Olympics got delayed. So if Seinfeld ends in 2021...
they are taking it back.
Peacock will take it back, and then they will make a huge deal about how Seinfeld is on Peacock and the Olympics is on Peacock, and this is why you should sign up for Peacock.
Give us our portion of your $20 a month. I know I pay a lot more than $20 a month. I gotta check my streaming service. I just got a message that my CBS All Access resubbed after they said they weren't going to, and I canceled it immediately.
The other question is, we already know that Netflix gets really Netflix gets really upset after 2 seasons of a show and loves to cancel things.
Yeah.
So are they going to be upset if Pokemon doesn't bring in whatever market they want? Because Netflix's whole thing is they want shows that make new people sign up. And if that show stops making new people sign up, then they usually axe the show. So is this only going to be like a short-term 2-year deal before Netflix is like, we don't want it? Or is like the Pokemon company being like, we're making our own streaming service.
Yeah, well,
and we need 2 years of buffer, so let's at least sit on Netflix for 2 years.
If Netflix dumps it after 2 years, that's like every other station has dumped Pokemon after 2 years. Like, everybody's done it.
Yeah, then they're used to it.
So they'll just have to find somewhere new, whoever wants to take them.
Yeah, maybe Disney dumped Pokemon. Maybe Pokemon didn't walk away from Disney. Maybe Disney was like, you know what? We don't want you anymore.
It could be.
Maybe
it's been 2 years.
The Pokemon company was really happy, and maybe Netflix was really happy with the Mewtwo movie.
Probably. I mean, they've had I think they've been having some success, because there's a bunch of Pokemon stuff already on Netflix, and I'm sure they've seen success from that.
Okay. That was exciting news, though. I guess I'm keeping my Netflix subscription.
Yeah.
I was going to cancel it after I saw the Mewtwo movie, but...
Not now.
Not now, I guess. It's now considered a business expense. All right.
Good luck.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we got some more news to cover, but we will BRB.
But your player character in this game is called Chase. And the female character is called Elaine. Elaine.
Like, you got Trace, you got Chase, and Elaine. Like, you got Trace, you got Chase, and Elaine.
The anime news doesn't stop, gentlemen.
More?
This is off more anime news. This is off AnimeNewsNetwork.com.
A trusted source in anime news.
the internet's most trusted source. Please get their tagline right.
Oh, is that? I was even looking. Is that true?
It says the internet's most trusted anime news source. That's their tagline.
I don't trust them.
I don't trust them anymore now. Way to toot your own horn. You're hiding something.
They write here, this was published April 19th, the official Twitter account for the new Pocket Monsters. They use the word Pocket Monsters. That's how you can tell they're true anime fans.
True.
Pocket Monsters television anime revealed on Sunday that staff are temporarily suspending part of production of the series due to COVID-19 situation. and a state of emergency has been declared in Japan. As a result, new episodes are delayed, and channels will re-air old episodes starting next week. The staff will reveal a later date when the anime will return. The show premiered on TV Tokyo and its affiliates on November 17th, 2 days after the Pokemon Sword and Shield games shipped worldwide. The series was airing Sundays at 6 p.m., the same time slot that was in Sun and Moon. This is like the first time the anime has like not been on the air. This will be the longest I think the anime will not be on air because of a situation.
Yeah. I mean, this is no surprise. As I said, the Card Fight Vanguard cartoon is also
I got him.
Delayed because they can't get the voice actors into studios. But you know what I find interesting, and you may double check me on this, Greg, because I know Steve's got no clue. I believe the My Hero Academia voice actors are actually recording in their homes for the English dub.
Yes, I believe they are. But I will say this. I don't know standard practices around for a lot of people, but a lot of when a show is first starting, they make everybody come into a recording studio, and then once it's established and they can trust these people, then they allow them, if that person has a recording studio at home, to go home and do it. So it is very like My Hero is clearly popular across multiple platforms. The dub is good, so I'm sure they have more flexibility to work from that they're allowing them to work from home. I don't know what Pokemon's issue is, because these people have been doing it for years, but they might not have good studios at home.
But there's that. But I mean, this is also the original Japanese recording, right? Not a dub, not a translation. And the issue with recording from home is that you don't have a director who can like say which take they prefer, right? You're kind of doing it on your own.
You're doing it on your own, but you tend to do multiple takes and send them in.
You get the Zoom call in Japan.
Nobody told Japan about Zoom.
Look, I have tried to record audio from Zoom. A Discord is better. It's like recording off of Zoom is the worst experience I've ever had.
I mean, it's tough because we have decent recording equipment. Nothing what's needed for professionals. There's a level of sound, there's so many things that have to go into being able to do this professionally at home that I don't know how they do it. And a lot of them aren't. Like, a lot of them just don't have the space or have...
Well, and they're not on our level, right?
Right.
So they just don't know how, unless they have their precious hand holders and keepers to guide them to a chair to sit and yak into a microphone for a few hours. They're lost.
I don't know how much the animation happens after the recording. Because so many people do it where they have the people read the lines and then the animators match the mouths to the performance.
Which is, that's part of the original Japanese part of it. Yes, I agree. So, and also they don't want a bunch of people coming into an animation studio and congregating there.
Right. So, I doubt they have animators working and then they're going to make their voice actors match the mouth shapes.
But also... professional animation is not a work from home.
No, it is
kind
not.
Of deal. You need some high powered rendering type computers. I could be completely wrong. I've never tried to animate at home.
Just get that.
I imagine
just bust out that MacBook Air, start rendering out some animation.
A MacBook Air is better than a regular MacBook. So,
the new ones are supposed to be pretty good. All right. You guys thought the anime news stopped there.
You told us it did.
There's even more.
Never enough cartoon news. Never enough.
There's never enough. I have two articles. I don't know what has the better dialogue here. Let's do Screen Rant. ScreenRant.com.
Oh, boy. Their trusted news and ranting.
April 26th. Pokemon Company apologizes for promoting Sword and Shield with dugong. The Pokemon Company has issued an apology on Twitter after the newest episode of Twilight Wings included the first-gen Pokemon Dugong. Just for complete transparency, this is the Japanese Twitter and the Japanese promotion. The Pokemon Company has apologized for using Dugong to promote Pokemon Sword and Shield in the latest episode of the Twilight Wings miniseries. The company has released one episode each month at the beginning of 2020. All have premiered free on YouTube, Although Twilight Wings is set in the Galar region, which debuted in Sword and Shield, it is not part of the mainline Pokemon anime, which has been recently put on hiatus. And then it goes on saying that Pokemon Shield is the best-selling Pokemon game in a long time. Did not include all the Pokemon. So we'll jump over to Nintendo Life, which has a little bit more information here. So they have the tweet translated by Google Translate. So the tweet says, apology in web animation. Tsubaki no Tsubasa, some Pokemon... I don't know what that means. Andrew will message us in Slack and say that my Japanese was very poor, and this is what it means.
Yep.
Some Pokemon that did not appear in Pokemon Sword and Shield appeared. I'm sorry for making a misleading expression. That was a very bad Google Translate.
That's not good.
Pretty much they had to apologize because... Okay, so if you guys don't know... when Twilight Wings runs in Japan, just like a lot of Pokemon trailers, even if you were to watch Japanese Pokemon Sword and Shield trailers, at the very end of those trailers, they always go like, these are the pre-order bonuses, this is the Pokemon Center exclusive, they advertise at the end of these things. While sometimes in America, when we get a trailer, sometimes at the end, it's like, here's the pre-order, but very rarely compared to how much it's heavily advertised in Japan. At the end of Twilight Wings, they advertise Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. They advertise those games for the Japanese audience to like remind them. Also, we've been saying this, that these are giant commercials, right? Pokemon Company advertise everything in the Pokemon world, advertises other things in the Pokemon world. To get you to, be underneath all of this, like I am now buying TCG cards again and too many plushes. I'm sure you could find, just like when Sword and Shield drama happened, I'm sure you could find people that didn't care about this. And I'm sure you can, I'm sure you can find Japanese people that didn't care about this, but I'm sure you can find plenty of Japanese people very upset about this. And unlike Reddit, hey, Japanese people do use Twitter. The people on Reddit maybe don't think so, but they do. So there were fans that were upset that Dugong is, not heavily, but used in this episode, and Dugong is not catchable at all in Sword and Shield.
I just find it interesting because I think a lot of people here, I mean, yes, we know that like Twilight Wings and the cartoon and everything are just advertisements for Pokemon products and everything. But I think a lot of people in the US consider them to kind of be like the cartoons to be standalone. And there are people who will like watch the cartoon even though they'll never buy one of the actual games. And they're like, well, I just like watching the cartoon. And so like wouldn't even think, oh, wait, there's a Dugong there and there's no Dugong in Galar. False advertising. You've tricked me into purchasing a game where I can't get a Dugong.
I dipped too low and saw the start of the comments, and I am forever regretful of my scrolling.
Wait, the comments on what? Oh, I didn't even know this page had
Nintendo
comments. Oh, Nintendo
yeah,
Life.
Don't
They're still out there. Oh my gosh, the best thing I saw. This is super off topic. So if you ever want a good laugh, anytime the Pokemon Company Twitter tweets anything, like Rattata has a cool Pokemon, and insert Rattata GIF, right? Anytime the Pokemon Company tweets, there's always like there's always the couple people that have hashtag bring back all Pokemon. There's like somebody in the world designed like these posters that say that like have a Pokemon on it, and then it's like hashtag bring back all Pokemon, hashtag bring back Mega Evolution, hashtag bring back like Z moves or something. I don't remember what the last one is. I don't even know what I clicked on. I think it was the tweet for the Sword and the Pokemon Journeys anime. There was a picture of Raichu, and then it said hashtag bring back all Pokemon, hashtag bring back Mega Evolution, hashtag something something. This poster doesn't make sense. Like, it's Raichu's in the game.
Is it though?
And
or
somebody,
is that what they want you to think?
and you always see these posters if you decide to go down the dark web of seeing like who's replying to the Pokemon Company. Somebody said, "Hey, like, why are you using this poster? Raichu's in the game." And the person was like, "Well, you clearly didn't read the poster. It also says bring back Mega Evolution."
Raichu doesn't Mega Evolve?
No, right, it doesn't. And they, the whole I was like dying the entire time reading it. And they said, "Yeah, they said bring back Mega Evolution." And then the guy said, "Well, somebody else chimed in and said no one wants Mega Rayquaza back." So the guy who posted the poster that said like clearly you didn't read, it also says bring back Mega Evolution. And the guy replies back, "Well, I didn't say bring back Mega Rayquaza. Bring back all of them but that one." And I was like,
Oh, no.
I love everything about this.
I was like, these are the people. These people. The ones that are going out of their way, saving these like images of like Tropius and Raichu and some people like Mega Charizard. These are the people that are fighting to bring back every Pokemon, and then when challenged on it, they specifically like, well, not Mega Rayquaza. Can't touch not all of them, but that one.
All of them except for the ones that
humanity.
I don't like.
Yep, this is humanity.
That's not how you do. There's a reason why you have so much free time in your day to just pose.
So while you were just enjoying that particular rant there, I have watched the entirety of Pokemon Twilight Wings Episode 4 Early Evening Waves.
Uh-huh.
The Dugong appear for approximately 4 seconds worth of the episode. Yes, there are would you call them a herd of dugong? Because they're not fish. They're not fish.
Well, what do you call a group of seal?
I don't know. I don't know what the collective of seals are. Either way, yes, you do see a collection of them. There are 3 that literally jump over her head.
As
That's
Dugong
the entirety.
does. Well, I got some good news, though.
Oh, good.
Pokemon Rumble Rush 2 shut down after just 1 year.
Oh, no. That thing that nobody used?
This is off Eurogamer. Smartphone game Pokemon Rumble Rush will switch itself off after just a year of operation. The free-to-play game has announced it will shut down on July 22nd, 14 months to the day after it launched worldwide. Rumble Rush is the 5th in the Pokemon Rumble series and follows previous entries from the Wii, the 3DS, and the Wii U. It transferred for the series' simple Pokemon toy mechanics to your touchphone screen, will let you plug in your My Nintendo account for My Nintendo rewards, and you could use the account's saved Mii figure as your playable character. It is the second app to close, supported by My Nintendo, following the shutdown of Nintendo's own Miitomo in 2018. The app did attract 10 million downloads, but it was shut down after 2 years. Oh, that was Miitomo. I don't know how many people have downloaded Rumble Rush. I guess, I don't think anyone was surprised. I don't think anything could have really saved this game.
We literally only talked about it at launch and never again.
True.
Yeah. It was a game. It was a game that existed. All right, last news article. This is off Life Hacker. How to know if your Nintendo account was compromised in a recent Nintendo hack. Not specifically Pokemon related, but probably relevant to our audience here. I'm not sure if you guys heard about this hack.
Nope.
I did not hear about this hack, and I hear about a lot of hacks.
Well, it's possible that your Nintendo account was hacked this past week here. If you have been using a Nintendo Network ID, NNID, to log into your Nintendo account, you might have noticed some issues logging in this week. Nintendo has disabled the ability to log into your Nintendo account through Nintendo Network ID, NNID, after 160,000 accounts were compromised in a recent attack. You might have a NNID from the Wii U or the 3DS. In a statement, Nintendo indicated that it will be resetting passwords from any NNID or Nintendo accounts that it thinks might have been accessed by third parties. For those accounts that were compromised, Nintendo says there's a chance your balance and registered credit may have been illegally used at the My Nintendo Store or Nintendo eShop. If that's you, you'll get an email from Nintendo letting you know that your password was reset. When you reset your password, Nintendo suggests that you not to use a password that you used for another service. You should also, Lifehacker recommends, set up two-factor authentication on your Nintendo account if you haven't done so. Going forward, it suggests that you use different passwords for your NNID and your Nintendo account. And Nintendo and Lifehacker suggest you should have a different password for all your accounts.
That's pretty standard. I didn't know that two-factor was available for my Nintendo account.
I think they just rolled it out a month or two ago. I think it's relatively new.
Well, I mean, I just signed up for the Nintendo Online Family Plan, and I just didn't notice that anywhere.
I think you can only do it on their website. I think you can only do it on Nintendo. I don't think you can activate it from the Switch. It has to be done on Nintendo.com. Yeah, I knew somebody in my Twitch chat that said they got hacked, and the person who hacked their account downloaded Fortnite, and that was kind of it.
Oh.
Brutal.
Wait,
I wish
Fortnite
that was
is
surprising.
free, isn't it?
It is free. I think that maybe they're trying to get to log in to get them V-Bucks. Right? You download the Fortnite, you log in with your account, you use the My Nintendo account to download the V-Bucks. 200 IQ.
So it was you, what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm trying to get all the V-Bucks here.
Because you want to overtake Ninja as the number one Fortnite. Is that a thing? Am I saying that right?
Sure.
I think
Why not?
Ninja still plays Fortnite, yes. Mixer's own famous Ninja.
He moved off Switch?
Yeah, like a year ago.
Oh, jeez. I only watch Caffeine. I don't know about Twitch or Mixer.
Brandon sent in the Pokemon Journey stuff. Andrew said that among the Pokemon anime stopping, One Piece has also stopped production temporarily.
How? How are they still making things? There's like
I know.
4,000 episodes of One Piece.
They haven't
Well,
found
is
the
the
One
manga
Piece
still
yet.
going?
I think so, yeah. I don't think they
Oh.
found the One Piece.
How much
No,
more
it's-
of that
they're
world
not
is
looking
left to look?
for the one. Do you not understand the story of One Piece? They're not looking for the One Piece. They're looking for Curly's gold.
Is that not the One Piece?
No,
Who is
the
the
One
One
Piece you
Piece?
eat. It's the fruit. You eat one piece of the fruit, you become a wacky comic book character.
Have you ever watched One Piece?
No. I know there's somebody named Luffy, though.
Luffy. Wait, what's the name of the fruit? Because the fruit's got a
It's the
stupid
gum
name.
gum fruit.
Gum fruit.
I've watched a lot of One Piece, and nowhere near like percentage wise of how much One Piece I've watched, it's like maybe 3%, which is still like 100 episodes.
Oh man, it's like the Bleach of pirate
Oh, God.
cartoons.
Just Bleach. We stopped. I never made it to the end of Bleach either.
I just keep watching the first 150 episodes.
The
over
first
and
100
over
episodes are
again.
good. So there's devil fruits, and Luffy ate the gum fruit, I believe.
Which is called the One
Look.
Piece.
No,
No.
the One Piece is the treasure.
No, the treasure
Yes.
is somebody's treasure. It's you eat one piece of the fruit and you get a
No.
wacky powers.
And you can't swim, which is bad in a water world.
Ooh, yeah.
Sounds like
especially
a
if
not
you're
great show.
pirate.
They should really put one.
It's-
They should really put a hat from One Piece on a Pikachu and put it in Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should. That'd be really good.
That's an idea.
I don't remember.
Real quick, in one
Out of-
sentence, how was your Pokemon Go community day at home?
I didn't stay at home. I went to the art park, but it was good. The part at home was not good, but walking in the park was good.
I did stay home. I completed the entire thing in about 40 minutes. I only got 2 shiny Abras. I still don't understand why the Abras were congregating after the professor made such a fuss about, we have to find out why the Abras are congregating. And then we never found out.
Something Team Rocket.
It wasn't even Team Rocket. It wasn't. He was literally like, I'll give you a Team Rocket radar, even though it has nothing to do with this. I have one that you can enjoy.
I have like 15 sitting over here. Have a radar.
It's the start of the pyramid scheme. He gives you the free one, then you start selling Team Rocket.
And then you're like, I'm there for it.
I did all 6 hours. I thought getting 2 Pokemon an hour off an incense, 120 Pokemon an hour, super good. It was really great that my Bonsly brought me 50 Pokeballs every 30 minutes. That was cool. It was fine.
Oh, also notable, they fixed the incense so that it was the timer on it was like 3 hours, not 59 minutes that just kept repeating over and over.
My
again.
lucky egg, though, timer, however, sat at negative 25 seconds for 2 hours.
Yeah, that's like the current known issue is they like aren't stacking properly. It was good though. It was fine.
To crack
it was
a lucky egg.
It's fine. It was too long.
Better than 6 hours is really long for a community day, but I get it. You don't have to do all 6 hours, and it probably really helps for people who, might have had to work in the morning or work at evening or...
Yeah, I did stop in the middle and then go to the art park and take pictures of the portal and catch a bunch of Pokemon and successfully socially distance because people were actually socially distancing this time at the park, which is really nice.
Question of the week.
All of your thoughts really interest me. I want to know what you believe. If you have something to ask us, just drop us a line. Hit me, Steve, it's question time.
Oh, boy.
I love Brittany.
I feel like this is getting worse and worse.
Excuse me?
That was fantastic.
That was pretty all right.
Pretty all right. I quit. I worked on that for like an hour, maybe 20 minutes.
This is Gabe. You are now head of the Pokemon Company. What is the first thing you do?
I tell Japan that not all the Pokemon are making it.
You reveal all the secrets to Japan.
Yeah.
The things we haven't been telling you.
Here's what's up, Japan. FYI. What's the first thing I do? Pay off my house? Or, I mean, I'm making the big bucks at that point, right?
Buy turnips?
Yeah, buy all the turnips and put them in my turnip storage downstairs. Bring back Pokemon Ranger.
Ooh, nice, cool.
Yeah. Never make a mystery dungeon
I'm the big boy, Mr. Pokemon. I could do whatever I want. I think what I'm going to do is have like a secret, like super secret Apple level of security team work on a much more adult, let's say complex, because I don't like to say adult in those terms, a much more complex, advanced version of Pokemon.
Pokemon After Dark.
Here's the deal. It's only available on Xbox and PlayStation.
Oh.
You can't play it on Nintendo hardware.
You are going to ruin all the business deals. You're going to drive that company into the ground. Oh, I forgot. The second thing I do is I make a Pokemon MMO. So choke on it, Steve.
Nice knowing the Pokemon Company. They're going to fold in 2.5 years after you take over, Greg.
What? I know how to make an MMO. You have no idea. That game would be amazing. I've already sold my MMO to like 4 people who are into it.
First thing I would do is tell my staff to stop working on a Gen 4 remake and go right to Gen 5.
You are...
Cancel Senna. We're making Black 3, White 3.
That's the name of your cat!
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I don't need to go back to it, though. I've walked through Mount Cornet. I don't need to go through it again.
Wow.
Oh, snap.
Okay, the second thing I would do, though, is Magikarp Jump 2.
Okay. You are driving this company into the floor.
Nah, Magikarp 2 would be look, it's gonna do better than Rumble Rush.
Okay, if we're setting the bar that low, then you can't say that I'm driving the company to the ground with an actual successful MMO.
Nah, MMOs are outdated. Come on. That's why there's gotta get in that living game grind. Animal Crossing. Gotta just put updates out every month.
What do you think MMOs do?
Will, give us our Pokemon of the week.
Oh, good gracious. Following up on that, I just want to quote Fiona Apple, but I'll keep it to myself.
That's a Fiona Apple quote?
She has a song called Never Is a Promise.
I know.
And a new album that's real good. So if you haven't checked out the new Fiona Apple album, go for it. Last week's Pokemon is not related to Fiona Apple. It is related to an exclamatory word from the Lasat language in Star Wars. It's a Star War. If you listen to one of Greg's multiple other podcasts, you may have heard a discussion of this Pokemon. It requires electrical stimulation and another Pokemon's presence to evolve. And it can be found near Chargestone Cave, which is a location in Unova. And there was a worldwide distribution of this Pokemon in 2011. The United States was excluded from that distribution.
Rude.
Yeah, no surprise. Who's that Pokemon?
It's...
Chatot.
It is never going to be Chatot.
Episode 406, the Chatot episode.
It's Carablast.
Carablast, even though that is not exactly what the exclamation is in the Lasat language, which is Carabast.
Whatever.
I like these Pokemon a lot.
Okay. Okay, here's the thing that I didn't say about Carablast, which is gross. So, there was the whole thing about trading a Machop and what's the little middle dude? Not Golem.
Graveler?
Graveler, and
ripping
it's
his
like
arms off?
steals the arms. Okay, Carablast supposedly secretes acid and melts the innards of the Shelmet so it can suck it out like a delicious Slurpee. That's disgusting. Shelmet's a little cutie. Carablast is ugly.
But that would suggest that I don't get the Shelmet in the trade, and yet my Shelmet
No, that's
survives.
not part of the evolution thing. It's just like that's a little side deal. Is the Carablasts eat Shelmets unless they happen to be electrically stimulated next to each other, and then it's like one pops out of its armor and the other one pops into it.
Carablast and Shelmet are the only Pokemon that have to be traded for a specific Pokemon to evolve. You have to trade each other. It's the only trivia.
Really?
There was a real cool Selgor in the Detective Pikachu video game.
Yes.
He's pretty cool.
Yeah, but Excelgor is the Shelmet,
Yes, correct.
not the Carablast.
Hey, when you talk about the Carablast, you gotta talk about the Shelmet. And then you gotta talk about the Escavalier and the Selgor. They all go together. Like
It's all puzzles and links.
What about the deck and cover?
Deck and cover. That was a good
Pokemon trading card.
That was a good deck.
No, it wasn't.
What? It was good.
Okay, listen. In trading card games, people frequently complain to me that they don't like playing trading card games with me because I only like to play versions where I keep other people from playing at all and I get to play and I win.
Yeah.
Deck and cover was that.
Yeah.
100%.
So it was good. Because it worked. It was consistent.
It was like, on your turn, you do nothing. On my turn, I kill you.
Yeah, I don't know why that's fun.
All right. So my friend Chris asked me for this week's Pokemon to do something
You
particular.
can't just say Chris. There's like 70.
Well, it's not Chris from New Jersey. It's
Okay.
not Chris from Ohio. It is Chris from Texas.
Okay.
Does that help?
You need to say Texas Chris.
Texas Chris. Okay. So he asked that I do something for Earth Day, and he asked that I do a haiku. I did 4 haiku. I don't know how you pluralize that word.
Haikus.
I've seen that anime.
So there you go. No, that's Haikyuu,
Oh.
which I watched like 8 episodes, and I was like, I can't. This is boring. Anyways, here is the 4 haiku for the Pokemon of the week, separated by seasons. Spring. Ecruteak breeze blows. Leaves made of rock do not shake. Mock copy of grass. Summer. Hot and dry weather. Fire used to be a danger. I can resist it. Autumn. Season of changes. Sunlight dims, colors darken. I remain unchanged. Winter. In the face of ice, laughter fills me to no end. I am twice as strong. There you go. That's so easy. It's so easy.
Would you quit making it Chatot?
I just love Chatot so much.
Don't we all? All right. So that's our episode. We'll be back next week, of course. If you want to follow...
Is that a promise?
Yeah. I don't know. Is something happening next week? I don't think so. If you want to follow us on Twitter, Greg is at White Wing. I am at Dragging a Lake. Will is at Wash in the Sink. You can follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/PKMNcast. Same as the Twitter, PKMNcast. Same as the Instagram. Same as all of it. If you're listening to this, we just finished our first 10-hour playthrough of our egg lock. And we're going to be resuming that egg lock again this upcoming Friday. So 2 things. If you missed the first part on the 24th, we'll be putting a highlight up of everything you missed on Wednesday, the 29th.
All the deaths.
All the hatches. And then we'll be resuming the egg lock on May 1st. So thank you to everyone who came out for the egg lock. It was a super fun stream. And it was just a very long stream. But we will be picking up in Stow Inside on Friday. So that's how far we are. And I think that's it. We got a subreddit if you want to check that out. r/super effective. And I think that is our show. Thank you guys for hanging out. Appreciate it. We'll see you guys next week. This has been another episode of the Pokemon Podcast, and we are
Super effective.
Super fly, baby.
This podcast is supported by our Patreon backers, and some of those people paid money to get their name read at the end of this show. A huge thank you to Alex, Courtney, Jetsy, Casey, Catherine, Kay, Kevin, Liam, Matthew, Noah, Patrick, Ryton, and Sejanus. And a shout out to our executive producer of Anthony. Thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you so much for listening. If you want to support the podcast as well, you can go over to patreon.com/itssupereffective, or you can head over to the easier to remember domain, ise.cash. Super easy to remember because money exchanges hands, and ISC is short for the podcast. Also, shout out to Nick, who does all the music for the show. And yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for making it to the end. This was new. Hey, it was different. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for supporting the show and listening. Really, really, truly appreciate it. We'll see you next week. Bye.